Hey, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a freelance videographer and filmmaker, and we recently watched The Most Beautiful Life Goes On, a story of BTS. It was a really good documentary made by Asian Theory, and it just told the tale of how BTS started and then where they got today. But what they didn't focus on was all of the adversities, all of the struggles, all of the hardships that BTS went through to get to where they're at today. I think that is super important to recognize because their success is way, way more meaningful with those hardships. And a lot of you guys agree with that. I've had so many comments on that video asking me to react to the hardships, so that's what we're doing today. Today's video comes from xCeleste, and it's just gonna document those hardships. But before we watch that, let's pay some bills. So I wanna give a big thank you to today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare is a service that I've used to help hone some of my skills, whether it be editing in Premiere Pro, After Effects, or even camera settings. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including photography, film and video, freelance marketing, and many more. Did you guys know that I really love plants? I used to have so many, but I suck at taking care of them. And now I only have like 3. So if I want to learn how to take care of those 3 plants that I have, Skillshare has classes for that too. I've noticed that a lot of you want to do filmmaking also, and it can be very confusing at times, especially with editing. But I did find a class to help with that. It's called Video Editing with Premiere Pro for Beginners by Jordy Vanderput. This class is going to get you up and running with Premiere Pro because the worst thing in the world is wanting to execute an idea but not being able to translate that idea into video. So the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description below get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium so you can start exploring your creativity today. Sponsors make me very excited because sponsors mean that you're like a real YouTuber, right? So it's pretty cool. So thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. So let's jump right on into the reaction, shall we?
This video was not made in order to relive the sadness or to hold grudges against others. This video was made to remind us that BTS didn't rise to success without facing hurt.
Sorry. I know it's not the point of this video at all, but he had a nice camera. Beautiful camera. A beautiful, beautiful camera. I love it so much. One day.
Success
One day.
without facing hurdles, and these events have created a stronger bond between BTS and ARMY. June 13, 2013. BTS were only able to debut because the scheduled performers cancelled. BTS was a filler. Even after debuting, they couldn't get much airtime. Their performances were either shortened, cut from broadcasts, or not uploaded.
Could you imagine BTS being the backup? I understand that that's when they were like very first debuting, but still, that's insane.
For online consumption, due to their company's lack of clout at that time.
Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. We couldn't get on a lot of shows. If a show was full, we couldn't get a slot all the time. Wow. It's so important to us. It was amazing. It's rare to get an interview like that.
From sleeping in one bedroom to using their own staff as extras.
Oh, I remember you guys telling me about that.
Garage. These were just a few things BTS experienced early on in their careers due to their company's limited budget.
You guys told me about their struggles, but like actually seeing it is way different. Printing on a $14 hoodie because we didn't have money.
Because some of the members came from an underground rap background, but ultimately chose the path of becoming idols, they were often disrespected.
사실 남준이가 언더에서 활동했다고
그런 사람들이 많아요.
아이돌로 올라가서 나는 언더그라운드 활동했던 사람이다 하고 언플이라고 흔히 하잖아요.
You often see hyped remarks like that. The underground or hip hop fans.
매니아라고 하는 사람들은 그런 거를 당연히.
The underground or hip hop fans will naturally not look at it that way.
안 좋게 보죠.
That person's not doing music. He's just being bossed around. He's simply just dancing after being handed a song. Is that considered a singer? What kind of artist are you considered? It's not good to continue pointing a kid out like that.
RM and Suga that they were on the right path, but
that's
strayed
crazy.
away and were no longer considered real rap hip-hop artists, deeming them girls for wearing makeup.
What? Just because they went more of a mainstream instead of staying underground, somehow they're not real rappers. And to be called a girl for just wearing makeup? What? That's crazy. The divide between idol and like rapper, it was wow. Since Bangtan are idols, there are people saying it's not hip hop. When BTS goes up on stage and gets makeup done, isn't that a conflict with hip hop? What?
Shut the front door.
BTS were being told by several people they would never make it because they came from a small agency. Bighit Entertainment was at one point near bankruptcy and didn't have the financial power to promote and push BTS the way other companies could with their own groups. So how did they do it then? In 2014, Suga shared his story about battling depression since pre-debut days. Suga continues to discuss and bring awareness to mental health through his work. Until now, BTS has continuously been transparent about their darkest thoughts and feelings.
I honestly think that that's one of the reasons why they've been so successful. That transparency. Whenever I would have anxiety, and I just got anxiety when I moved to Las Vegas and I had no idea how to cope with it. But music, talking about anxiety and depression and all that stuff really helped me get through it. And I can imagine that is the same way with so many of you. The fact that BTS talks about that stuff and they're transparent with their struggles, I think is really the reason why they were so successful, because that stuff resonates with people.
Not just through their music, but also their very public personas. February 2014, BTS were accused of copying the schoolboy concept for Boy in Love, which came out shortly after another group released their music video, even though the concept is a popular choice amongst young boy bands. April 2014. During a variety show, the host confronted them about this plagiarism accusation.
That's so stupid. We used School Trilogy Fame, released 3 albums. We thought about eventually our promotional clothing would be uniforms. Coincidentally, our time frame overlapped with each other.
Throughout their careers, they've been constantly criticized for plagiarism, often for outfits, props, concepts, and hair colors that are ordinary not just in K-pop, but the expansive world of visual arts. November 2014.
I doubt that they really plagiarized anything.
#KickoutJhope BTS trended on Twitter, calling Jhope ugly and untalented. The trend became popular enough that their friend and supervisor from their reality show American Hustle Life, Tony Jones, tweeted out saying, "Every member is needed and talented." Jin stepped in by telling ARMYs to cheer up and that all of them were working hard. ARMYs got together and trended #Jhope You're Perfect to comfort him.
That is May 2015, a lot better. What in the world?
BTS finally won their first music show with their song I Need You 2 years after their debut, but were accused of sacheki. This is when companies buy back albums to boost external sales records. But this was when their company was barely surviving financially.
So how would they even be able to do that?
May 2015. V was accused of mocking another idol group after they won a music show and were accepting the trophy. People began to send him death threats. However, he wasn't mocking them at all. V was known to be a fan of this group and was singing their song out of excitement. He apologized on Twitter for the misunderstanding and provided screenshots showing that he would always listen to this song before bed. July 2000.
That's so stupid. Oh my god, being in the public eye is just a whole other thing. Imagine just singing one of your favorite songs and somehow misconstruing that you're mocking it. Like, what? I doubt anyone in BTS would be mean at all for anything. Like, they seem like the nicest people. This is crazy. I knew that they were underdogs from the beginning, coming from a super small record label, but oh my god, nobody wanted them to succeed.
15. BTS abruptly halted their concert, The Red Bullet, in New York due to death threats towards RM. All related fan activities were also subsequently cancelled. Attendees of the show were forced to leave the venue, where there was a strong presence of security and police at the scene.
Why?
Sorry, we love you. I love you.
RM also received another death threat for another upcoming show in Mexico later that month. July 2016, people began to debate over alleged misogynistic lyrics and tweets from BTS. This led to the members and the company reflecting back on their actions. BTS's agency, Bighit Entertainment, responded with an apology and a promise to do better. Consequently, the band grew from this lesson and have since released feminist overtures such as 21st Century Girl, and in 2019 responded to their 2014 single Boy in Love with Boy with Love, a collaboration with Halsey. RM has said that since the incident, he pays closer attention to the lyrics he writes, reading newspapers and books to study the social phenomenon. After he finishes writing lyrics, he consults experts of women's studies to objectively examine the lyrics. May 2000.
Okay, so some stuff is good. Some stuff. Like very few controversies and stuff like that. Every now and then, I guess, something like that will happen where they grow and they actually benefit from like the controversy. That's the only one that I could really get behind at the moment. All of these other things are just so mind-blowing.
Aunties began to use the hashtag Plagiarism Boy Scouts. Multiple fandoms teamed up to trend this hashtag in Korea. BTS saw this, and the media latched on.
What is up with people thinking they steal things?
During the variety show Flower Crew, Jungkook arrived at the filming location with a bag of hamburgers for his cast members, hoping to break the ice. One of the cast members made rude comments and turned Jungkook's offer away.
I brought Coke and Sprite and hamburgers, bacon. Why aren't they accepting it? You know what it feels like? It feels like it's leftovers.
BTS has since filmed another variety show with the same host, and the spirits seem high. September 2016, Aunties made yet another project called Break Wings Project to try to sabotage their comeback in October. The project was caught and stopped once comments on YouTube broadcasting the project were put on blast. Wings then went on to sell 16,000 units in its first week, appearing at number 26 on the US Billboard 200 chart.
Why do people not like BTS? I want an actual explanation as to why people don't like BTS. I want receipts. I want like detail. I've watched a lot of BTS videos so far, and everything that I've seen, I haven't had any reason to not like them. So I want to know the other side. I do.
For a K-pop album, and making BTS the first and only K-pop act at that time to log 3 entries on the Billboard 200.
Wow.
Because of this, Aunties took strategic pictures of non-ARMYs and claimed that there was no line in stores that sold physical albums. October 2016. During the Busan One Asia Festival, fans were told a couple hours before the broadcast that BTS were no longer appearing because one member was absent from an injury. Even though a countless number of fans were already present at the event venue and BTS was ready and willing to perform. BTS ended up performing for the fans who attended the event and waited all day, but it was at the end of the event with leftover confetti, no proper lighting, and no cameras rolling. Their performance was not broadcasted and only fan cams were taken. October 2016. During the Busan One Asia Festival, fans were told a couple hours before the broadcast that BTS were no longer appearing because one member was absent from an injury, even though a countless number of fans were already present at the event venue and BTS was ready and willing to perform.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so RM wasn't there?
BTS ended up performing for the fans who attended the event and waited all day, but it was at the end of the event with leftover confetti, no proper lighting, and no cameras
I can kind
rolling.
of understand
Their
that. I mean, it
performance
sucks
was not
that it's at the
broadcasted
end.
and only fan cams were taken.
I can slightly understand that one. You know, they don't want to broadcast only 6 members of BTS. They would want to have all 7. Having 6 might look bad for the broadcast company or something. I don't know. But that still shows how good of people BTS are. They still performed, even though it was only 6 of them.
October 2016, during BTS's Blood, Sweat and Tears promotion in South Korea, BTS wasn't given a waiting room at the broadcast center. So the members made do and practiced, got dressed, and did makeup in front of the bathrooms. They would practice non-stop without resting, greeting other staffers who were going to the bathroom, and other idol groups would openly look down on them. This comment was left under a video uploaded by Wei, a member from Crayon Pop. Wei responded, "Yes, that's right. All I remember is their hard work and efforts. I especially haven't forgotten RM's voice practicing Japanese." November 2016.
That's so
V
messed
made
up.
a heartfelt announcement during their muster that his beloved grandmother had passed away.
Oh no.
Auntie saw this as an opportunity to twist his narrative and intentions, sending him death threats and accusing him of using her passing as a ploy for attention. November 2016. Big
What?
hit
Why? Who would do that? I'm sure he was just emotional and he figured he would give an explanation as to why.
released a formal statement about taking legal actions regarding malicious rumors, false statements, and personal attacks against BTS. The
Yes.
company continues to pursue legal actions against perpetrators to this day,
Good.
enforcing a strict no settlement and leniency policy. November 2016. Fans of another group were upset that BTS won Album of the Year at the Melon Music Awards, claiming it was done out of charity and that miscalculations were made. They called Melon Customer
doubt it.
Care, where an employee explained that the company's internal data proved that BTS scored higher.
Yeah.
Audio of the conversation was released.
I doubt it. BTS is a powerhouse. Like, they were selling albums like crazy. I don't think that any other group could really compete. But if the artists don't release any albums during the 1-year period, it won't be counted, right? That's right. We calculated our own score for this award, so what you're saying is that the data we see is absolutely different compared to the data considered by Mel. No, we're looking at the same data, but the chart you've seen and the real-time something, the data you've seen is what you see immediately after the artists release their own album, right?
그리고 스트리밍 그
I don't think
실시간
that's right.
앨범 자체가 나오고 나서 순간 차트에 대한 그런 데이터를 아십니까?
그건 아닌 것
아마
같은데.
고객께서 보신 전체 데이터
I think it's difficult for you to see the total data figure because that data is only available to Lorian. I'm not sure how you've calculated the score, but whatever you've calculated is the scores from the chart. But what we use is not the chart. We look at the data of whatever. You know, the number of times listened by the general public and not how many times their fans buy or stream the artist's song. It's overall digital score. I think you're suspecting internal fabrication, but as far as I can tell you, there's no corruption. You can understand that BTS won the award because their songs were streamed more compared to blank during that 1-year period.
February 2017. BTS were accused of plagiarism after their performance
Again?
at the Gaon Chart Music Awards. The part in question was when the no signal bars on screen resembled another group's past stage. To make matters worse, the creative
Is that not a common
director
thing?
of the group in question created a post on Instagram with the captions, our hard work. And siblings of the group liked that post. Gaon Charts eventually posted an official statement in regards to the accusation, admitting that their own production team was in charge of the graphics, not Bighit. BTS has not attended or performed at Gaon Chart Music Awards since, only pre-taping acceptance speeches. March 2017, death threats were made against BTS, with their target being Jimin this time. This threat happened during their world tour, and Bighit addressed this threat, increasing security around the venues.
Jimin out of all people?
Fans of a different group were so outraged by the results at the 2017 Mnet Asian Music Awards that they filed a petition under the Blue House, the executive office and official residence of the South Korean head of state. They requested MAMA to be abolished because BTS won, crashing the Blue House petition website, which was meant for the South Korean citizens only, with traffic from overseas. May 2018, Jimin once again received death threats, this time during their Love Yourself tour in Fort Worth.
Why?
Police tweeted soon afterwards that they were investigating the threat. November 2018,
Jimin is like the sweetest member.
On November 7, a South Korean court ordered a Japanese company to compensate them for wartime labor during Japan's colonial rule of the Korean peninsula. The next day, Japan's TV's Asahi's music station announced that they have cancelled BTS's appearance on their show, slated for November 9th, due to a recently resurfaced screenshot of a member wearing a t-shirt depicting a photo of an atomic bomb and of Koreans celebrating their independence from Japan. The band subsequently became attacked by the extreme conservatives in Japan, and the news was picked up by the Western media.
So the member wearing the shirt wasn't the real problem, but rather something to hold it against. They were really just mad at the results of the court that made Japan lose money. It really showed their mentality of how they react to being held responsible of their crime. And then this happened. 20 armies who do Korean translation work from all over the world gathered to really explain the whole incident by diving into the political background of the two countries, as well as the historical backgrounds. They also pointed out wrong information the media is speaking around the world and corrected them with facts. Good. By gathering every document possible on World War II and published the White Paper Project. Very good. It's in English and Korean. It's about 166 pages.
April
Good.
2019,
Hold them
during
accountable.
BTS's global press conference for Map of the Soul Persona, a reporter bluntly asked BTS about past plagiarism allegations.
사실 제가 그 윙스하고
I brought up Wings and Blood, Sweat, and Tears because I want to know if
문제가
it was
됐던
plagiarizing.
그뭐 표절인가 그 프랑스 작가분께서
Want to know more about the issues
부분을
brought up by the French photographer?
언급해서 여쭤본 거였고요. 그거에 대해서 그냥
I know this question can be uncomfortable, but I wanted to hear what you had to say.
답변을 좀 듣고 싶은 부분 때문에 질문을 드렸습니다.
네, 그거에 대해서는 저희
In regards to that, our
회사에서
company's
이
legal team
저희
is
회사
talking to the
방송에서
photographer.
작가님이랑 이야기를 하고 있고요.
I believe that
저희
our
의견
official stance will be the same as our
생각도
company's,
생각을
as it
하고
should.
있습니다. 네,
Our company is currently
그거에
looking
대해서
into
회사에서
it, so I'm
지금
sure
하고 있기
we'll
때문에
know when the results
뭐
come out.
결과가 나오면 알겠죠. 네, 감사합니다.
Very good
Netizens
response.
later
Very
uncovered
good.
an article written by a reporter of the same name on another entertainment company's news website. April 2019, SBS Inkigayo excluded BTS's Boy With Love out of its charts for the song's first eligible week. Questions about the
Why?
criteria used by the music show were raised, while SBS continued to claim the calculation period did not fit with BTS's album release time. To this, Dispatch compared BTS to another group who also released a song on the same day. That group entered the rankings and took its first win for their song that week, while BTS were left out of the rankings entirely. December 2019. JTBC reported that BTS went against their own agency and planned to file a lawsuit against Bighit Entertainment.
Really?
Bighit pulled out receipts and released a lengthy statement on behalf of Bighit Entertainment, BTS, and the members' families. They called the media company's journalism practices into question.
Oh, because they weren't actually.
We have not only the video that JTBC used for the first report, but also the CCTV video that recorded the footage of the journalist breaking into our company.
What?
December 2019. MBC is accused of abusing their power to purposely prevent other groups under Bighit Entertainment from appearing at their year-end show. After BTS...
Other groups under Bighit? So not only are they targeting BTS, but everyone under Bighit? That is... why?
Chose to appear on the US's NBC New Year's Rockin' Eve countdown in New York City instead of NBC's year-end program. According to Osen, multiple industry sources shared, ever since October, when BTS's side told NBC that BTS would not be appearing on NBC's year-end music festival, it has been difficult for singers associated with Bighit Entertainment to appear on NBC. It is already an openly known fact in the industry. January 2020. For 29 years, the Seoul Music Awards only had one grand prize, also known as a Daesang. But in 2020, they created a second Daesang for digital music. BTS won the Daesang for physical music only, even though their stats proved that they should have also gotten the Daesang for digital music as well.
Oh, did they not like BTS
did not appear in person
charts?
to accept the award and has only sent in video acceptance speeches since. July 2020.
Wow, I applaud BTS. They are like, look, this company doesn't like us, so, we're not going to deal with it. I like it. They don't endorse all of this prejudice.
Naver, the Google of South Korea, reportedly invested over $80 million into another entertainment company after losing out on profits from BTS, who chose to hold an online concert through Weverse, a mobile app and web platform developed by Bighit Entertainment. BTS earned at least $21 million in ticket revenue, according to an analyst at securities firm. He stated, Naver lost BTS, the most popular IP of K-pop. He stated, Naver lost BTS, the most popular IP of K-pop, and must have felt the need to invest in entertainment to form a stable relationship. $1 million into another entertainment company after losing out on profits from BTS, who chose to hold an online concert through Weverse, a mobile app and web platform developed by Bighit Entertainment. BTS earned at least $21 million in ticket revenue, according to an analyst at securities firm. He stated, Naver lost BTS, the most popular IP of K-pop, and must have felt the need to invest in entertainment to form a stable relationship. Since 2017, fans have noticed that South Korean platforms such as Naver and media journalists were ignoring and downplaying BTS's achievements. Popular websites hardly posted anything about them, nor did they feature BTS on their front pages. Music critic Kim Young-dae and popular political commentator Kim Oh-jun recently discussed this issue.
I've always thought that the volume of news in Korea compared to the enormity of the phenomenon was small. In this case of BTS, they've continuously been making a similar phenomenon, close to
지속적으로 만들었는데 거기에 비하자면 아주 시간이 좀 적다.
But compared to that, the response has been smaller. What's wrong with the media, who usually likes to make a big fuss out of everything?
궁금증이 평소에 있었거든. 연결되는
That's
이야기예요.
so why?
기사들이 일단
Because they have a grudge that they didn't use their search engine. I am so glad that BTS is bigger than just Korea, so that they can actually hold their own against all of these hardships and this mistreatment. BTS's success is somewhat reported on.
이제 어느 정도 보도가 돼요. 그러면
우리가 흔히 알고
But
있는
when
소위 대형
idols from the
기획사의
big agency we
아이돌이
commonly know do,
그것보다
let's be honest,
사실은 못
something
미치는
less
어떤
than they
활약을
did.
보였을 때 미디어에
If you
보도되는
look at the
양이나
amount
그
of
커버되는
news
범위를
reports or look at the
보시면
main pages, there's
확연히 차이가
definitely a
납니다.
difference.
굉장히 좀
It's quite an
재밌는
amusing
부분이고
occurrence.
이번 그래미 같은
For
경우는 어떻게
instance, when the
들어가냐면
Grammy
주요
nomination, the way they
부문에서
frame
등급에
it as
실패했다라고
they
한다든지
failed to make it into the major
여러 가지
categories.
요즘 이거
For me, out of
하나가
all the reasons, I
중요하다고
think this is the most
생각해요.
important, and what that is the phenomenon that is
항상
BTS.
BTS의 미국에서의
The success
성공,
BTS has in
BTS의
America
세계적인
and the global
열풍
craze of BTS
자체가
itself didn't go
제도권의
through the systems of
시스템을 거치지
institutions.
않았다는 거예요. 그래서 이
So these
제도권을
institutions could
점하고
be
있는
the
그
media,
언론일 수도
the
있고
promoters,
뭐
or record
프로모터일 수도
labels.
있고 음반 회사일 수도 있죠. 이 사람들이 보기에
From their perspective,
썩
it doesn't
납득이
quite
가지
make
않고
sense, nor is it particularly
유쾌하지도 않아요.
good to them.
자기 힘이 입증이 안
Because
되는
that
거죠.
would mean their
그렇습니다.
powers can't be proven. Oh, that makes sense.
하지도 않아요.
자기 힘이 입증이 안 되는 거지 그렇게 되면.
그렇습니다.
점하고 있는 위치에서
Looking from their positions, they have their own influence, but BTS succeeded without going through them, so now there's no reason for their existence now. That makes so much sense. They just have a grudge. They have a grudge because they didn't have a hand in BTS. BTS, pretty much was never supposed to succeed, and yet they did, and they did it without the help of anyone else.
December 2020. For the last few years, BTS has been the face of political discourse on the revisions of South Korea's mandatory military service. Even though BTS and their company have not spoken about wanting postponement or exemptions, and have insisted that they will serve when called upon. In August 2018, all major South Korean entertainment companies held a meeting to discuss petitioning the government to revise the law to allow K-pop performers to be exempt from service, in addition to the top artists, musicians, and athletes that already qualify. Bighit Entertainment was not among the agencies, but BTS was used as the leading example for this revision. On December 22, 2020, the Ministry of National Defense announced that a revision has been made, effective June 23, 2021, where popular culture artists can postpone their enlistment until age 30, with the requirements that the individuals must have been recommended as recipients of the Order of Cultural Merit, one of the highest national honors given to artists in South Korea. In April 2021, 26 agencies, led by the Korean Music Content Association, filed a written objection against the revision, stating that the new law is both unrealistic and unfair. March 2021.
Wait, okay, let me back that up so I understand this again.
To be exempt from service, in addition to the top artists, musicians, and athletes that already qualify. Bighit Entertainment was not among the agencies, but BTS was used as the leading example for this revision. On December 22, 2020, the Ministry of National Defense announced that a revision has been made, effective June 23, 2021, where popular culture artists can postpone their enlistment until age 30, with the requirements that the individuals must have been recommended as recipients of the Order of Cultural Merit, one of the highest national honors given to artists in South Korea. In April 2021, 26 agencies, led by the Korean Music Content Association, filed a written objection against the revision, stating that the new law is both unrealistic and unfair. March 20.
So they're mad because their success isn't the same as BTS. They have to reach a gigantic pinnacle of success in order to qualify for postponing their enlistment. Otherwise, they have to enlist when called upon. Is that what it is?
Stating that
so
the
again,
new
there's
law
just,
is both unrealistic
just people being
and
mad
unfair.
at BTS's
March
success.
2021. BTS was nominated for the Best Duo Group Performance at the Grammys, which was announced during the online pre-show instead of the primetime ceremony, as it usually was in previous years. Unfortunately, they didn't take home the award, but what made fans even more upset was that the Grammys used BTS as ratings bait, teasing that BTS's performance would be quote unquote up next, but were actually placed as the second to last performance during the 3.5-hour broadcast, and only given the time to perform an abridged performance of their song. A former managing editor for the Grammy Awards website spoke out the next day about the Recording Academy and how it pushed back on featuring BTS. But BTS got the last laugh. A live stream of the band celebrating after the event has so far garnered more than 13 million views, compared to the 8.8 million viewers who tuned into the Grammys. March 2021. Topps released the Garbage Pail Kids Shammy Awards illustration and cards. Unlike the other artists who were featured, BTS was depicted as being brutalized and beaten up by a Grammy trophy inside a whack-a-mole. This isn't the first time BTS has been shunned, put down, or bullied. In February 2021, a German radio station host made racist remarks about BTS, comparing them to COVID-19, and voiced his hopes that there will be a vaccine against BTS soon. He openly cursed at them for covering a Coldplay song and said that BTS deserves a 20-year vacation in North Korea. Halsey, Max, Lau, Steve Aoki, and more artists slammed the radio station's racism and xenophobia. The host and station maintains that it was just a joke and that folks are too sensitive. During Zach Sang's show, a member named Liam from a boy band called Forever in Your Mind made these comments.
I agree that they're a boy band, but at the same time, it's like I feel like it's like a different, like they belong in a different genre on their own, because I feel like there still needs to be like a European or an American boy band to be at the top, and I think BTS can just live in their own. They're BTS. They don't, you know what I mean?
No, but they're like.
Like I don't think that they're gonna.
So crazy, it's like,
dude, and it's global.
I'm a fan. They're really good.
I like them. They're good dancers.
I can't get behind it. I don't understand what they're saying.
I got it.
I don't even know. Okay, look, I understand the whole point of not knowing what they're saying, because I don't like actively listen to their music in my free time because I can't sing along to it unless I learn Korean. I understand that, but just because you don't know what they're saying doesn't mean that you cannot recognize their artistry. I really like BTS because of their commitment to their art, regardless if I know what they're saying or not. And like how they become so successful that they just eclipse everybody in their category, and then he just wants to kick them out of that category entirely. So what? Other people have a chance? That is not fair. That is so stupid.
To call them boys or girls because I don't know what they are. Look at these people. Look at this one. I don't know which one he is. Look at those highlights. Those chunky Tony and Guy mall salon highlights. And the contact lenses. You are an Asian man. You don't need to look like a girl named Ashley.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
I don't know. I think they look very nice. Oh! That is not what you were saying during the break!
How did this become a thing in Western culture where all these grown men and little girls are off to little K-pop boys?
A senior editor from The Economist said, "Please no," after BTS was announced as speakers at the 75th UN General Assembly. She quickly tried to backtrack, claiming it was a joke. This led to Stephen Pollard, a British journalist, to tweet this, and Anne Hegarty, a television personality, responding with, "All this about a little Korean boy band that's fundamentally not important?" So when BTS was named Entertainer of the Year by Time magazine soon after, RM said, "We're not sure if we've actually earned respect, but one thing is for sure is that people feel like, okay, this is not just some kind of syndrome or phenomenon. These little boys from Korea are doing this." BTS have always been outspoken about the injustice of racial discrimination. In the summer of 2020, they used their platform and proudly announced their support for Black Lives Matter and donated $1 million to the organization. With the recent rise and visibility of atrocities against Asians, BTS released a statement on their Twitter standing in solidarity once again. These are just a few of the countless examples of mistreatment, racism, and xenophobia that BTS has been encountering around the world throughout their storied career.
I can't even believe it.
It will more than likely be a continued uphill battle. As artists of color who are constantly breaking records and barriers, amassing fans and growing in popularity around the globe, hostility and jealousy will come easily from those not afforded the luxury of such a strong and dedicated fan base. As fans who are cognizant of their journey and understand that their popularity comes from their sincerity and talent, ARMYs have a tendency to be protective and sometimes overly so.
Why.
If only because of the awareness of what BTS and ARMY are up against when fighting for fair representation.
Oh my god, I understand it now. I completely understand why ARMY is the way that they are. BTS took the whole underdogs to the complete next level. All of their success that they have was earned. Rightfully so. Like, they earned all of that success, and it seems like everybody wants to take that away from them. So I understand why ARMY is so like protective. Like, they're gonna make sure that BTS gets the respect and awards and everything that they deserve, because they are the hardest working people out there. And I'm glad that other artists see that at the bare minimum. Even if the rest of the world doesn't see that, I'm glad that other artists see that and they have their back. Oh my god, thank you so much to xCeleste for this video. And thank you to all my Patreon supporters, specifically Jimmy, Lisa, and Kimberly. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. And all right.